Okay, everybody. So today we're going to do a little tutorial on setting up Python and Flask and making a simple Hello World web application. So let's go ahead and make myself smaller, maybe like that. And here is a little outline of what we're going to be doing. So how to set up Flask. First of all, what is Flask? Flask is a framework for building simple web applications using Python. I am relatively new to Python. Most of my experience is in Java, a little bit of C# experience. So um, basically, I'm I already did set up one of these applications, a very simple one, just using just using ChatGPT and to help guide me through it once before. So in a way, I'm just going to be sort of teaching myself, learning myself while I show you my process or workflow to do that. Um, so what is Flask? Yeah, Flask is kind of a back-end service, if I understand it correctly, for Python web apps. It can also serve the front end at the same time. That's kind of my low-level understanding of it. And you're able to easily connect to databases, or you can import data and load that up into a database, and you can even one thing I did was I integrated an AI chatbot into a website that I made earlier. So there's a lot of different things that you can connect and use when you're using Flask. So um, I'll try to not explain things I don't understand too well here, but basically we're just going to get Python and Flask up and running. Now, the first thing you want to do is open up a terminal. First of all, I'm using right now Windows 11. Um, it's probably, I don't know, it could be better for you to use Linux, but for my work, I use Windows currently, so that's how we're going to do this. Um, and basically, you want to install Python onto your machine if it's not already installed. I believe this is the command to check if Python is installed, so we can see we're running 3.13. If you do not have Python installed, you can download that from the Python website. Um, just type Python into a search bar, and I recommend going to the website whenever I'm downloading a programming language or framework. There are ways to do this in a terminal, probably, especially if you're using Linux. Some people prefer that. I haven't figured out how to necessarily know. If you know what version of the software that you're downloading, it's probably better to do that in a terminal. Um, However, if you go to the actual website, you can see um, what is the most recent stable release um, of that software, language, framework, whatever. I've found that ChatGPT often tells me an older version than what is the latest version. Um, so I usually go here to get whatever I need, whether it's from Windows. Usually you'll find a button to download for Windows, and it has a fancy installer. Um, it can make things. It's usually the best way to go when you're using something like Windows or Mac. You can use the installers that are there, and that will usually set your path. It will set the operating system's path, so that way the operating system knows where to find the software, computer language information, what have you. If you do it from the terminal, you may or may not have to set the environment variable, the path variable, so you know which version you're going to use, or the system knows where to locate it. I've already done that here, so I'm not going to do it again. But basically, the simplest way is just download the installer. You can do it other ways as well, but once you have that up and running, um, now I did this in a different order than what's here. It's saying set up the environment virtual environment first. We have virtual environments for Flask or for Python. This allows you to isolate libraries or dependencies for specific projects. So um, the way I did this before was I created the project folder first before I did that. So let me actually, by the way, also, for simple things, you can just have ChatGPT guide you and tell you how to get things set up. So that's what we're going to do right here. Yeah, so this order actually seems a bit better. So open a project folder first. You can do that right in your IDE. Okay. Um, open folder. Probably there's a create folder. Probably create a new folder. So for example, I don't know, I'm here on the desktop, right here, and you can create a folder, call it whatever you want, like Hello World project. Um, and actually, I'll do a new one just for this video, but we'll call it test. Hello World. Okay. So I did that right in the IDE, and I'll just say trust here. And we have a folder. From the Windows perspective, you could just do this anywhere in the File Explorer as well, or in the terminal if you like to go that way. But inside of here, we're going to need we're going to need to build out certain folders that are necessary for Flask. But let's do this one step at a time here. So I like to use this terminal a lot of times. You can open that on Windows with the Windows X button and go to Terminal Admin and pop that bad boy open. You can also just do this right in the IDE. There should be a button here to, oh yeah, Control Plus, or just go up here into View Terminal. And you're already in the directory that you need to be in. And we need to run a few commands to start this virtual environment. So I guess we'll try to do this in the editor. So this command here should create the virtual environment or set it up. And it takes a couple seconds for some reason to do it. So that's been done. If you look here, you can see that this subfolder has been created. this subfolder has inside of it git ignore, which will prevent any passwords or any API keys, anything important that you have hard coded into your project. This will prevent it from being uploaded to GitHub or whatever other Git system you're using. I'm not sure exactly what these scripts do, but this is like where, as far as I understand, inside of this folder is where your project-specific dependencies are going to get downloaded to and called from. All right, so we need to activate it. So there's a command here to activate. And I think we have an extra period. I don't know. Let's find out. Yeah, that doesn't. That looked wrong to begin with. Oh, perhaps. Hold on a minute. Okay, so I ran into this issue before. We have an execution policy. Running scripts is disabled on this system. So there's another command that basically is a workaround for this. It's here. Hopefully, make sure you can see that on the screen. So in Windows, in PowerShell, you need to. I think it's a security feature to prevent malicious scripts from running. I'm assuming. So we're going to run this set execution policy. It's going to basically bypass the security. Okay, and that should have worked. And now when I run this activate script, now we can see that the virtual environment is active. You know this because at the beginning of your command line header, you're going to have venv in green. So it is active, and now we can start installing dependencies that we need for this project. All right, the first thing we're going to use is pip. I believe that's the installer for Python. Let me just get a quick definition. Define pip. Yeah, it's an installer. In my mind, it's kind of like wget, if you've heard of that. But basically, this is just a little package manager. Installs, upgrades, uninstalls Python packages or Python libraries. So, like it says, it's like a little app store in the terminal. So, we need Flask, which we already have, I believe. I guess we don't have it in this virtual environment. Okay. So we're going to go back here. We are going to install Flask for this project. Okay. Now, for some reason, it gave me an outdated version of it. And it's telling me that I can upgrade it by running this command. Not sure why it didn't just give me the newest one already, but we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, now we have the newest version of, oh, it was the newest version of PIP. But we have Flask and we have the newest version of pip. Alright, now we're going to verify that it works, although the terminal did already say it was installed, but we can get a list of things that we have installed. Flask is one of them. I don't know what these other things are. They sound pretty cool. It's dangerous, Colorama, for example. We'll have to learn what those do at another time. Um, Now we need to create these project folders. So um, when it comes to serving up a front end page, it must be under this templates folder. I don't know exactly why, but that is just how Flask organizes the project folders. There must be, you must have this folder in your main project folder. So we can also do that here in the IDE. Just going to right click and do new folder. Oh, that was wrong. Um, Let me just delete that. Okay, we don't want that. We want this in the main directory. So right here, there's a new folder button, and maybe I can make this bigger for you guys. Probably should have done that earlier. All right. Control plus and minus will make your screen bigger. So we need templates. Okay. And since we're going to make a basically a web page for us to display Hello World to, we're going to need an HTML file. So uh, by default, we should have this index.html for our main landing page. All right, and then we need to create the actual Flask application. So this is like the main um, thing that tells Flask to run and starts serving all of the content. Um, we need to create a file called app.py, and this should be in the main directory, if I recall right. So we'll create a new file, not there. Not there. We need it here. Is that right? App.py. We need this out. Okay, that's in the right spot now. All right, so let me just confirm. App.py should be in the main project directory. Yes, that is correct. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and copy and paste. This is a very simple boilerplate kind of code for a Flask app. Um, Basically, this defines a variable called app that's being run. That's what we are calling here. We're going to run the app that we're creating, and we're also opening up some endpoints that can be accessed on the internet or whatever server that you're serving this from. In this case, we're going to be just serving this on our local machine. And we'll see that in just a moment. But basically, this is your main landing page, and this would be a specific subpage that will display Hello World. And that's all we're really doing so far with this this application. We can we will add things to this later. All right, now we are going to need just a simple HTML page to actually put the content on the screen. And that one is going to go inside that templates folder like we said. So We already made that. We're just going to paste this code right up in here. So this is just hello Flask. And we are using JavaScript here um, to contact this endpoint. It's getting a JSON for some reason. I don't know why. And returning that. I'm not sure what the purpose, why, why it's having us do that. We could just literally type the information on the screen, but this is coming from here. It's using something called JSONify, which I do not know what it is, but somehow it's turning this text, this key value pair, into a JSON and sending it. I guess it's just kind of showing us that we can use the Flask. Sorry, my daughter was upset there. So um, I guess the purpose of doing it this way is just to show how we can use JavaScript to make a call to our back end. This is our back end and this is our front end. So um, we are kind of showing how the relationship between the two. I guess that's why we would be uh, asking for this simple message here. We could be doing something else, like maybe returning some data from a database, something like that. But in this case, we're just getting a simple message from the back end. Now, let's make sure we save. One of the things you need to do in VS Code is hit your Control S. Make sure the files are saved or they will not work right. And now we should be ready to run it. Now in the terminal, we can write Python and then the name of the program, which is app.py. Check that we are in the correct directory, which we are. If you're doing this in the terminal, you definitely may need to make sure that you're in the right directory, or otherwise, it will either call the wrong app.py or it will not be able to find it. And we can see that it's running. It's running on this local host port 5000. So we can copy this, and we might even be able to just click it. Let's see what happens if we click it. I'll control click. And there it is, just a very simple hello world. This one is hard-coded into the HTML. This one is being served from the back end. So let me just check here, make sure we covered everything. Yeah, so we have a basic server running using Flask. And in the next tutorials, we will start adding some more features and complexity into this, such as adding AI integration and, of course, CSS and things like that. But basically, yeah, you have a very quick. I will say that this. Although I'm still brand new to it, getting this set up and running is much easier, was much faster for me than getting Spring Boot set up with Java. This was really quick and really easy with minimal knowledge required. Of course, it is better to go back and understand what each piece of code is actually doing, what these things mean. But it's outside of the scope of this tutorial for today. But if you do not understand or have fully learned the semantics of what is happening with these this at symbol, for example, then it would be good to take the time to fully understand that. before getting too deep into building applications. But with that, have a good day, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.